What's going on, everybody? So y'all see the title, and I know y'all know that I wasn't gonna let this one go by like that. Let me get this light right. Let me get this light right. It's a little too bright. It's a little too bright. All right. So y'all knew that I wasn't gonna let this. I was not gonna let this get past me. Okay. So y'all see the title. Guilford County done extended Contreras, Sharon Contreras contract to 2025. Let me just go in and read something. Let me read the article real quick for y'all. Let me bring y'all a little closer. Come a little closer. Let me read the article for y'all. Superintendent L. Contreras will remain as the district's leader through June 30th, 2025. The Guilford County Board of Education decided at its retreat Thursday. In a statement on behalf of the board, Vice Chairperson Winston McGregor said, "The board applauds and appreciates your innovative, dynamic, and forceful leadership." Now, forceful, we can say that. Dynamic, innovative, I want to know what she done. All I'm saying is show us, the parents, show these students what you have done. I've been talking about things. I was talking about things for the past 2 months. I'm going to bring it up, showing receipts. What has she done? What has she done? We're gonna move on with these phony fake praises. A dynamic and forceful leadership during this unprecedented time, and believes that you have exceeded expectation in many ways. You and your leadership team have kept GCS running at a very high capacity throughout these difficult days and months, and you have led boldly using data and every resource you could responsibly muster to make sure the children of Guilford County were cared for, fed, educated, protected, and nurtured. We are so grateful. Under her leadership, during the pandemic, Contreras has established learning hubs and high-dosage tutoring programs that have become models featured in national media. Let me keep going. Guilford County Schools was one of the first largest districts in the state to reopen for face-to-face instruction, and the first of the 5 largest districts in the state to reopen for the youngest and most vulnerable students 5 days a week. In addition, Dr. Contreras led Guilford County's first successful school bond campaign since 2008. The $300 million bond campaign was overwhelmingly supported by more than 72% of Guilford County's voters. As a result, 8 schools will be built, rebuilt, or renovated over the next 3 to 5 years. Dr. Contreras has led this district with a consistent vision to transform learning and life outcomes for all students, said Dina Hayes, board chairperson. Even through the challenges of the pandemic, she is guiding our progress with an increased focus on equity and access, with innovative plans to strengthen our highest need schools and with implementation of $300 million bond. Contreras was named Superintendent of the Year by North Carolina PTA 2019, and North Carolina Regional Superintendent of the Year 2020 by the Piedmont Triad Educational Consortium, and a top 5 finalist for the Green Garner Urban Education Leadership Award by the Council of the Great City Schools. Contreras became Superintendent of Guilford County Schools in August 2016. In February 2020, the board extended her contract through June 2023. Okay, let's get this right here. We're gonna start right here. If she done all of these great things, right? Why, when she ran for Secretary of Education, right? Why didn't she get picked for the Biden why the Biden administration didn't pick her to be the Secretary of Education for the United States? Why didn't they pick her? She put in for that job, right? During the height of the pandemic. If she was so focused on the school system in Guilford County, why in the freak was she putting in for a job there? If she was so concerned and being so innovative. Number 2, what was innovative? When you say innovative, what has she done that's so innovative? Don't worry, I'll wait. Been asking this question for the longest. And I'm pretty sure she got some of her people that have been watching my previous videos, and nobody has said anything. Nobody has said anything to counter anything I said. Because I've been showing proof all through every time I've talked. So, we want to say she's been so innovative and doing so much. What has she done? Tell us, because before she got here, never ever heard of a restart school in Guilford County. What is a restart school? She has yet to explain that. If you're so innovative, be innovative and explain that. Okay? Explain what's a restart school. Explain why were they going to school a week early just to have a whole week out in October. Explain that. If she's so innovative, if you're so innovative, explain to us what you're doing. You know, all these false praises and everything, because see, the problem is people get comfort and get comfortable, and what they don't want to go out and look for a new superintendent. They don't want to go out and look for nobody. See, she's conformed to whatever, and she's doing whatever the people above her want her to do, so they're pleased with her. See, anybody that's really innovative, when you came with the restart schools, you would explain that to the students, to the parents, and you wouldn't have to go to GCS website to find out about the restart school. And you wouldn't really have to look hard, because you would explain what's the game plan for the restart school. Because the only thing sounds to me for a restart school, the game plan is just to start back a week early. Because other than that, I don't know what the game plan is. I don't know what the game plan is on that. And if kids have been out of school for a while, how are you gonna get them back in you got to move them back into the swing of things slowly. If they've been out of in-person school, and then let's talk about the other things. Talking about she's been a front runner and all of this during the COVID. No, actually, she sat back on her hands and waited for the government to give her the cues of what to do. She didn't do anything. The communication sucked and still sucks. You know, all of these bootlickers and everything that's around, you know, for whatever their gains are, you know, she's playing the game with them. But you tell me, somebody that's focused on the school system here, at a time when there's a pandemic, this lady was thinking about jumping ship. She had put her hat in the ring to try to get a Secretary of Education for the United States. How were you going to get that? If you weren't doing your job here, you were pretty much ran out of Syracuse because you weren't doing your job. And the same freaking thing that I ran down, that Syracuse had issues with, they're the same issues here. She left Syracuse, and they had they had schools that were in trouble academically, like in trouble. It was at least 5 schools when she left that were in trouble. What was her game plan there? She jumped ship. She jumped ship actually because she knew that they were gonna fire her. A new board was coming in. New board members were coming in, and she knew she had no win. It wasn't gonna go down how she thought. So she got up out of there before they would have fired her, because she knew it was coming. She got the memo early, and she got up out of there. Okay? So she's here. All I'm trying to say is what she's doing so innovative. You got schools here. You talking about in the next 3 years. Well, you got 300 million bond, but you had $254 million. What have you done with that? You been had those schools sitting here that was caught in the tornado that were damaged. You been had those schools sitting there. Those students are still misplaced. Those students are still at other schools. Okay? What's the game plan on that? You talking about the next 3 years oh, we're gonna have new schools built. But why you ain't focusing on the ones that were already damaged? How about focusing on the schools that need updates right now? You're talking about building new schools. How about focusing on the schools that are active, that need updates? How about focusing on them with the $254 million that you done got approved for before this $300 million bond thing here? Okay, let's just stop playing games. Even the county questioned your moves. Even the county had to go behind her and try to figure out, what are you doing? Like, the money was there. Why haven't you sent any? Why haven't we received any receipts for any work done? Because we haven't paid out. We not paying out no one until we see some work done. That's our protocol. That's what we do, and that's how we always done. That's what the county said. So the county questioned your moves, Contreras. But here we go with bootlickers here. Like this guy, Winston McGregor. We got bootlickers here that are talking about, oh, she done a great job. She's so innovative. No, actually what she done, like what every superintendent done, what most done around the country, was wait and see what the government tell them to do and go vie for the funding. There were funding put in place for education. And what a lot of them did was ran and got that money. Okay, let's move on. You have teachers that jump shipped on you in 2020 that just left. And you're trying to act like you just have a teacher shortage for this 2021-2022 school year. No. The teachers left last year. They left in 2020, okay? They left. Your communications suck. Everyone's tired of that game y'all playing. You lost teachers. The teachers been left. Okay? So when you so innovative, why you couldn't keep any teachers? Why is it a shortage? If you're so much of a great leader. He said one thing in there, that Winston McGregor guy, that was true. Leading by force. Yeah, I've talked about that. You could just go back in the previous videos when the last 2.5 months that I had talked about the Guilford County school system, and I talked about her leadership and how she's like running a dictatorship. Yeah, that's the one thing that he said that seemed to be true. But as a parent of a child in the Guilford County school system, you're not gonna tell me I don't see what I see. You're not gonna tell me that I done been in the presence of this woman twice, and I didn't see, like, I don't see what you see. I don't hear what you hear. And a lot of us parents here ain't hearing what you hear, but it's the game, this political game these folks are playing. So you extended this lady's contract to 2025. Now, she been here since when? 2016? So from 2016 to now, all I see is I don't see no leadership skills. I just see someone sitting in a seat and being told what to do. Not being a leader. Not innovating anything. As I said before, these teachers are boots on the ground. These teachers are in the classroom every day. They're the innovative ones. They're the ones that are making sure and take pride in every child that they can get to graduate. And every child that they know that moves on to the next grade and taking pride in knowing that child learned something that school year. Those teachers that's in that classroom that build a bond with those students and have genuine love for their students. Those are the innovative ones. The faculty and staff members that are boots on the ground every day. Not you board members who have to get invited to the freaking school. You can't even go into the school that you represent. You just can't even walk into that school. How the heck are you even representing something that you don't even know what's going on? You have to be invited. So you have a superintendent that and everybody wants to play this game. Yeah, everybody's gonna play it safe. You guys are all playing it safe. You're playing a big freaking game. I don't even know how the heck you do a job and don't do a job. That's like somebody working in a burger joint and never and never give customer service. They stay hiding out in the bathroom every time. So how do you represent students as board members? How do you represent students and you don't go into the schools just on your own willingly? Go into the schools and see how things are running in your district. How can you actually sit up in a people's face and say you're representing something? You're not representing shit. You're representing yourself. And you look bad. How do you represent? How can you sit and speak for some people that you're literally not even laying your eyes on? You're making policies from a podium. And then you have someone that you hired as a superintendent who's a secretary of the board. She's the secretary of the board. She's running you guys. You hired her. And in history, when has the employee ran the employer? Don't worry, I'll wait. You know? So we running down all this cockamamie BS about she is being an innovator. She's exceeded expectations. What was that? Who you talking about? You guys' expectation? Because the students and the parents, no, with the expectations, you have no communication. There's no real direction. You don't know what's going on. What's going on with your ACES program? You got all of this money. What's going on with your ACES program? Hey, how about since school is back in, when will the parents be allowed back into school to just pop up on their own child and see how things are going? You know, just want to see how your child's making out. Hey, when would the parents know that? Huh? Hey, it's so many things, and I've went over and I'm not gonna go back over them again. You can just tap into my videos, my previous videos where I've talked about the Guilford County school system and talked about Sharon Contreras and gave receipts and you could fact check me and everything. Not one person yet has stepped up and challenged anything that I said. Because when you got proof on what you're talking about, nobody can really, what could you say? Especially if you don't know and somebody's giving you the knowledge on it and allowing you to go check up on it and challenging you like, hey, fact check me. Hey, look into what I'm saying. Hey, here is the links to everything, what I'm telling you. If you don't know and it's your first time tapping in, just go on back to and just look at what Syracuse said about her and then weigh it against what you see right here in Guilford County. You see what the problem is? Those people up there in upstate New York, up in Syracuse, wasn't with the BS. Okay, they got tired. They wasn't gonna play that game. Okay, so new board members come in. She already knew it was. She already knew where her fate lied. See, she probably manipulated the members that was there previously, as it seems right now, manipulating those board members right now, playing this game. And as I said before, we can no longer sit here and keep turning the cheek. When we know and see somebody not really doing something and doing a job, and then you have people want to sit in front of your face and try to make you believe and spewing this BS. You know why they spew this? Because a high percentage of the parents not paying attention. So they're able to run this. They're able to run the table right now because nobody's paying attention. And see, as black people, you get caught up into this thing. We get caught up into this thing because someone is of our origin. So we will support them. But then they make us look bad. So just because they want to say she had an education. I talked about the Broad Academy, and I talked about how she is an alumni of that Broad Academy. And what their mission is to come into these urban school systems and just for whatever reason, they want to control the urban school system and get them to where pretty much have them like blind to the world. Want to teach, want to just blind them. They come in because they know that these urban school systems can get funding for all different various programs. So they come in. And then they put people that they want in place. The broad program doesn't run. They train their people. And they always like to train, they get superintendents of schools. They want people, they get them. They want those who are going to go out and be superintendents of schools. They don't look at, they look at education, at the education system. They run it, their motto is to run it like a management. Then the Broad Academy has their own agenda. You know, they have their own agenda. They want to, push their agenda and what they believe education should be. And then you start having students learning things that are like totally confusing, that don't even make sense. And I go back and I talk about that Eureka math. If you heard my previous videos, I've talked about them. And that is one thing that makes not one freaking bit of sense. But that's part of the agenda. That's part of the agenda. You tell somebody to, just to multiply 3 times 2, you got to go all around the corner just to get 3 times 2. It's just 6. You got to go 3 times 2 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. I mean, you got to go all around the corner just to get that simple answer right there. And how is that? That's not making the mind work. That's confusing the freaking mind. That's not how we doing math in the real world. So why are we doing that? We talking about being innovative. How about meeting these kids where they stand? Meeting these kids right now, the technology is at the palm of their fingertips. They have the world at the palm of their hands. How about meeting these kids where they stand? These kids are bright. You talking about being innovative. What's the game plan? You see, they keep talking at things, but you ain't seeing no action. I'm seeing a lot of talking at, but they ain't producing no action. But you see, they brought this woman down here. They brought Sharon Contreras down here on the premise of, she's the first Afro-Latino woman superintendent for Guilford County. It was a good look. It was another prospect ahead of her. They bumped that prospect out to bring her in here because of the look. Not paying attention to why you left that felon system in Syracuse like that. What was the reason you left that felon system up there? No excuse for that. But then there's a felon system here, and she wants to jump ship again. Only thing was the Biden administration, whatever you guys were saying in Guilford County, they ain't see that. Because she would have been, if she was so great, so innovative, ain't that what they want with the Secretary of Education for the United States? They want that, don't they? Why she ain't get hired? If all of these great things, why she ain't get hired? See, you can play those games in y'all circles, y'all little board circles here, Guilford County. Y'all play them games. You can't play them games with the government. Yeah, they're gonna check your background. And when they seen you jump ship up there, you ain't got enough under your belt. And, frankly, I don't know how you guys can sit up here and literally give her all all of this praise and forget about the freaking teachers. You giving her the praise that the teachers and faculty members are actually putting in that work, boots on the ground. They actually putting that in. Heck, coaches are boots on the ground more than she is. What's the last high school Sharon Contreras showed up at? Where was the last high school Sharon Contreras just popped her head in? Within the city of Greensboro, not out in the county. What's the last high school she popped her head in? And when she popped her head in, actually walk around that school and do some inspecting and see and some things that need changing. A lot of these schools are really freaking old. A lot of updates need, from HVAC systems, everything, to technology. But what they did, what the board members and Sharon Contreras did, they made sure they took care of themselves and updated their boardroom, their technology. But what about the rest of these schools? Ailing technology systems. What about the rest of these schools? What about the Wi-Fi systems in the rest of these schools? What about updating that? What about the security of these schools? What about updating that? What about these? What about the security in the schools and allowing them to do their job? The detention officers in your schools. What about or whatever the title y'all have for them, RSO, whatever? What about allowing them to do their job? Okay, but the reason why they can't do their job, because Sharon Contreras got teaching from the Broad Academy. And they, all I got to say is you look up the Broad Academy, and you will also find that Sharon Contreras is alumni of that program. And you will also find that that program wasn't even a accredited type of program. It's just a wealthy, rich family that created it with their own political agendas. And then they paid their way into Yale. The Broad Academy paid their way into Yale. So now the Broad Academy is part of Yale's SOM, School of Management. As I said, they don't look at education as they should. They look at education like management. Like, what is education? You got to train the mind. They put these superintendents in, and they come in with the mind of management. Their mind, their attitude is management. Their style is like managing instead of actually being innovator in education, actually caring about education. They care nothing about education. It's all about it's all about her own personal gain and how she can come up. But she found some good people here in Guilford County. Yeah, for whatever reason, whatever she's doing for them behind the closed doors, whatever type of raises or whatever moves she's making for them, they're all bootlicking, But you can't sit out here, and the parents are out here, and these students are out here, and you seeing what's going on. I don't see anything innovative on Guilford County School website. What innovative things have you done, Ms. Contreras? Let's talk about it. Because guess what? You got to go into the schools to get innovative. You got to go into the schools and stand there and teach them kids. You have to start listening to your educators and your faculty members to become educated. See, you have to be a good listener before you can actually lead. You gotta listen more and say less. You know, but you ain't listening and you ain't saying nothing. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's helping anything. And I know y'all been hearing about me. I'm not slow, and I'm not stupid at all. Y'all heard about me, but I'm like I said, I talk about national, local issues, global issues. But I ain't gonna stop talking about Sharon Contreras, and I'm gonna keep a close watch, and I'm gonna keep on, because when it's over, when 2025 over, we're gonna have a list, checklist. What has she done? Yeah, because if you're gonna build these schools before 2025 and renovate these schools before 2025, we want to see that, because it ain't been done yet. You ain't start on one yet. You ain't start on one yet. Ain't like you fighting for the students. We haven't heard you fighting for anything. We haven't heard you like saying anything. Anytime we hear Ms. Contreras talk, they don't even know what she's talking about. She's talking at something. We don't even hear you standing up fighting for anything. But what we do see is you keep going for funds but not doing nothing with it. You want to raise budgets for this and that, for your purchasing budgets and everything. But what are you purchasing? Where's the upgrades at for these students? You upgraded yourself and your board members with your technology and upgraded your boardroom. But what about these schools? Yeah, he's talking about you're doing so much. What about when the students were when students were sitting in the classrooms and boilers were breaking and it was cold in the classrooms? Yeah, and most parents didn't know about their children sitting in cold classrooms. Come on, man. Don't worry while I wait. Let's not play these games. Ain't nothing slow about the kid over here. You know, I'm paying attention and I'm watching. People say, oh, you should run for the board. I'm not running and being a part of nothing shady like them people over there. I'd rather talk from where I'm at and create other avenues. I will not stand next to nothing like that. I don't want to be associated with people like that. Their job is to take care and handle things for these children, and they're not doing it. And until they do right, ain't nothing good gonna come for them. That's why they're gonna kid. That's why they stay in those seats and they looking around for their next little crumb in the county. That's why they staying in them seats for their own gain. That's all. They just playing musical chairs out there. They just playing musical chairs out there. They move around to whatever sector, county sector that they could get involved in that's going to elevate them. But what are you actually doing for these children? See? But then, you know, folks like them, they'll go on and they'll blame the government. Well, the government put up a lot of money and shelled out a lot of money. Now it's your time to really do something with that money. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame the government now. See, before, you know, you had a lot of times where the government's not doing this. They shelled out a lot of money in 2020. You know, COVID, they shelled out a lot of money. Okay, and let's not forget that Biden administration, the Obama administration was all pro-education as well too. So let's just stop here. But you see, you got these restart programs trying to make it like these students are slow. No, these kids, you got these kids, these schools labeled as restart. That's not them students' fault. You need to equip them teachers with the ammunition they need to teach them children. You need to come with innovative programs for these kids throughout. It should not be a separate school to learn STEM or learn. No. We should be learning that right now. Every school, science, tech, engineering, and being more faster mentally with the math. Not taking the kids backwards with Eureka math. taking them around the globe and confusing their mind for one math question. It's not being innovative. Being innovative is when someone wanted to present that to your school system, you shot it down. Like, that's not helping. How is that going to help us? That's going to set us back. So if we're going to think like that with math, let's just think like that with everything in education. Let's just go all around the world to learn one simple thing that's in front of you. Opening the mind is when you become innovative. You can't be innovative with trying to close the mind down and trying to put blinders on people. It's not being innovative. Being innovative is not running a dictatorship. Being innovative is not having bootlickers. Being innovative is having people around you that's going to actually check you when you're going wrong. And allowing that. Not looking for yes men. It's not one person that ever lasts too long with just having yes men around them. You got a hole in your boat. Need to patch it up. That's my time. I just wanted to jump in. I had to say something about that. Y'all had to know I was gonna say something about this. When I seen it, I just shook my head, and Godspeed to all these children for the school year and these faculty and teachers across Guilford County. Godspeed with you, because there's a terrible game being played right now. These folks are playing a terrible game, and it's all politics, as usual. And it will continue to happen if if people will continue to stay quiet. It will continue to happen. But you can't say you're innovative if you have teachers that have left. And people can say, yeah, teachers left all around the country. Teachers left. Yeah. Teachers have left Guilford County. Let's just start there, and we know why. Okay? And that's just that. We got restart schools. What is that? Why is that? What is the game plan? What is the end game for that? So the restart school, you just wanted them to go to school a week early? Well, the first week of school, you're just getting acclimated to to being back in school again, getting acclimated to your new teachers. What do you actually learn in that first week? But then you turn around and you're going to be out a whole week in October for no freaking reason. They were just out the whole freaking school year, okay? Majority of 2020, it was gone. What are you out for a whole week for in October? Explain that to us. You had a lot of time to talk about things. It's time to put some work in. Cause all they've been doing is talking and not talking about nothing, talking around circles and arguing about helping these children. Your job is to service these children. That's your job. Do it.